to Frozen Synapse Live number 17. Today we will be covering the DGL 11 semis and finals, and with me today is Nietzsche, who apparently isn't on Skype. Where are you? Okay, I'll try to call him even though it says he's offline. I'll see if that works. Ah, there, he logged on. About time. Hello!
Hey, what's up, man?
Right, we're starting now, actually. Right,
okay.
Let's get going with the first match, which is me versus Jeffis. And it's Charge. I actually won this tournament, so 6 of the 9 matches we will be showing will be matches I've participated in, so I'm going on those matches I'm going to let Nietzsche have a bit more of a say than me.
Oh no, man, you have to, you know.
I'll still be talking. I just won't do everything.
Well, of course, I'm just gonna be. You got to be ready for me to pick your brain a little bit.
Of course. I mean, I made plenty of mistakes there during these matches. There's no proper Frozen Synapse without plenty of mistakes. That's kind of what makes things fun. So yeah, first match is Charge. I've got here, Jeffis has an MG, a shotgunner, and a sniper, while I've got 2 MGs and a grenade launcher. Do you have any comments about this map, Nietzsche? Maybe I should show it on stream as well.
Yeah, you should probably do that. Yeah. I would say, I don't know. It looks really interesting. It looks like you bid to counter his bid that would be right next to it. Yeah. Yeah,
and also because it's kind of a good bid for me, especially as I have the grenade launcher and all that.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, this looks like it's going to be a really interesting match, as the unit composition looks like it's pretty good. It looks like we could have, I don't know, something interesting coming out of this. There's definitely a lot of strategies that I'm already trying to figure out, but what was going through your head here on the first turn? What was your idea?
Well, with my top units here, I was primarily trying not to be seen by Jeffis, so that I would have a certain advantage of stealth here. And yeah, I was basically just trying to get my units into a good position here.
Now, Jeffis just mentioned that he bid the same. Jeffis, you bid the same line? Because that wouldn't be you wouldn't win the bid. I'm assuming you're talking about you bid one line to the right.
No, he bid the exact same line as me.
Oh. Well, then I don't understand why he thought...
he counted, but I guess he counted wrong.
Okay. Yeah, no, I guess that can happen.
I seem to remember you said you counted the lines, but yeah. I'm not quite sure.
Anyway,
count always wrong. Great grammar there, Jeffis.
So yeah, what was your thinking on the this first turn?
Yes, I said I was trying to get the advantage of stealth, but it wasn't that important for me. As you can see with my MG, it's kind of easy to see it through this doorway here.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like Jeffis's initial position, at least, it looks like he's concentrating primarily on the top side, which could leave the building at the bottom somewhat vulnerable. Obviously, there is quite a bit of chance for him to just hop over there if need be, with a shotgun, which would obviously beat any unit that got into that building. But it's just a thought that I had looking at this.
Yeah, let's play the first turn then.
Alright.
So yeah, nothing much really happened this first turn. I was a bit careless with my ignores and continues on sights with the bottom MG here. He was supposed to have continue on sight on,
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah. That's, although it looks like it's still fine, such that you didn't get into a losing engagement.
Yeah, I survived, but it did delay me somewhat. And doesn't my
Yeah.
friends have such awesome nicks?
Yeah, I see. So Jeff has assumed that you'd be playing well and put his sniper on continue on sight. So unfortunately misses the easy kill on your MG there.
I don't think he would have gotten a kill either way, or maybe, I'm not sure actually. But
Definitely, he's got line of sight on it the entire time, right?
Yeah, you're right.
It's okay.
But
No,
that
I mean,
wasn't really a mistake by Jeffis. I mean,
yeah,
that's this kind of mistake you shouldn't count on your opponent making.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely not a mistake on Jeff's part. Just kind of a funny interaction that happened there.
Yeah.
So it looks like you're going to be concentrating your efforts towards the top, and you're going to be looking to perhaps use the 3MG down at the bottom, which, like I said, it should. I mean, if that is in fact your plan, I mean, I think that should bring his units out of position, and may leave an opening somewhere at the top. I'm just trying to predict how this game will go, just for shits and giggles, I guess. But
yeah.
Let's
see turn 2 then. Yeah, I managed to get my MG killed here by a nice distraction with Jeffy's SG.
Right. You always, should have had that guy on ignore a minute.
Well, that would be pretty dangerous, as then he could just come up near me and kill me with it.
That's true. That takes quite the... That's true.
I could probably counter it somehow, but...
Yeah. Well, anyway, so, Jeffus gets the nice kill at the top, which obviously, and gives him a rather large advantage. And, of course, now he's using that mobility of the shotgunner, just moves right down to cover the bottom area.
Yeah, but due to the shotgunner range, he can't actually engage my MG down there.
Right. But it's quite nice that he got the kill, because this play, if it hadn't, could have left some openings at the top for you. Looks like. But let's take a look at the next turn, unless you have something more to say.
No, not really. So.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm careless with my grenade launcher as well, so he gets killed by the sniper. But I've still got my bottom MG though. And what's happened from this point on is kind of funny, as for some reason Jeffys thought that he was attacking, so he didn't concentrate all that much on trying to kill my MG.
Goodness, so wow, this is I guess a sort of a comedy of errors from two of the best Frozen Synapse players that are currently playing, but hey, hopefully we get to see a little bit better play here in the upcoming games.
Yeah, so let's see turn 4 then. Yeah, I just stayed in the same position for now with my MG so that I wouldn't get killed by a shotgunner. Had I moved forward, I would have gotten killed by the move Jeffys did with his shotgunner there, where he poked around the corner and went back in.
No, this is such nice play from Jeffus here. I think what he just set up was he now has his shotgun in position while you're engaging the sniper, right? So now he's actually completely denied that bottom area, because on the next turn you can't kill the sniper without losing to the shotgun. Smart stuff, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So let's watch turn 5.
Oh no, you had just gotten the kill shot. Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
So what I just decided to do was stay mostly in position, move slightly so
Yeah.
that I'd hopefully get a kill by shotgunner, and here you see
Yeah.
Jeff's mistake start. He runs his shotgunner up to the top where there couldn't possibly be an unit.
Oh, you're right, because he thinks he's attacking.
Yeah. And that lets me get to the line safely just on time and thus get to victory here.
Oh, goodness. Oh, Jeffus. Not the best showing from our number one player.
And yeah, here in the comments it says, the whole time I thought I'm attacking, I hate myself.
Well, that's pretty funny. I guess hopefully we get something a little bit more sane in the next game.
I'm not too sure about that.
So the next one is disputed. It looks like.
Yeah.
My game is currently loading.
And this is a nice 16 turn disputed.
Oh, hell yeah.
And once again, I get the win due to bad assumptions on Jeffy's part. So I really didn't outplay him in these matches here. I just got lucky with him making silly mistakes.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I haven't seen this game yet, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll find some things.
Yeah.
Anyway,
in this match it's 3 versus 3 disputed. We both got 2 MGs and a sniper, so both the teams and the map is pretty balanced, really.
Yeah. I would say so. Although, you may have some advantage just by virtue of the presence of those buildings. But it doesn't look like you have any good spots there to get line of sight on any really crucial areas. But sometimes you can use. You know, it's very good to travel through the buildings on your side towards the center.
Yeah. Worm, it's entirely possible to recolor the units. It's in the options, so being red-green colorblind really doesn't affect Frozen Synapse much unless you don't bother looking at the options at all.
Yeah. Good thing to know. Just for any potential audience members that may be red-green colorblind, you can change the color of your units. All right, so let's have a look at turn 1.
Yep. And yeah, just standard maneuvering really. I tried to get my sniper some good line of sight, and I got one of my MGs nicely up behind cover here.
Yeah, this looks like a really standard opener from both players. Your sniper is obviously very well placed to cover any entrances out of the buildings on his side in the top left corner. Yeah, I would just say that both players here do pretty standard stuff. So let's look at turn number 2.
And here I make somewhat of a mistake. Here I didn't consider this tiny slit here, which Jeff is used to get a nice shot at my MG here.
Oh my god, Jeffus finding the tiny little features of the map and abusing them. Really nice play there. Obviously from there he cuts off the line of sight from your sniper. While it looks like that was quite the turn. It looks like he ran a distraction with his number 2 in order to get the number 1 across. It looks like, unless
yeah, I think that's what he was doing with the number 2 MG, plus getting the number 2 MG into a nice position, of course.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Well. He just finds a way to get them both across that open area, which your unit definitely did have on lockdown there. So really nice play from Jeffus here. Although your number 2 MG, I think, is incredibly well placed for what he's doing right now, and I'm guessing that it hasn't been scouted yet. Although
I'm not sure actually.
Yeah.
I don't think it got scouted. Jeffy says that my game looks very different from what he had in his game. I'm not quite sure what he means by that, so please elaborate, Jeffis. Okay, I did scout the MG here apparently.
Okay. So
yeah,
that's good. Because I was gonna say that could be really pretty crucial in any potential advances through the walls there. So let's have a look at.
Yeah, I remember that Jeffis. Some stillness about which direction my MG was shooting, though the result was the same either way. My MG died, but some strangeness when it comes to which unit he was actually shooting at.
Oh, wait, are you talking about on the turn where he ran both guys across?
Yeah.
Why is
on
that
Jeffy's
odd?
screen, my MG was shooting his MG1, I think, while on my screen it was shooting the sniper. Yeah, what Jeff is saying there. On his screen I never shot at all at the sniper, while I clearly shot at the sniper on my screen.
Wait.
And that was some ignore silliness.
I'm sorry, I totally confused. You're saying that in the simulations or something, like, you guys got different results?
Not only in the simulations, in the actual outcomes. Of course, this outcome was exactly the same, except it happened a bit differently.
Okay.
So on his monitor, I was firing at only the MGs down there, while on my monitor I first shot at MG2 and then at the sniper.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
I wonder why that is.
I guess the
obviously
ignore
it's
order
not-
didn't take on his side of things. So,
Oh, because you had an ignore order on?
yeah,
Oh,
you
well
can
then.
see it here actually.
Oh, and because you're red on my screen, obviously. But well, whatever. Let's just have a look at turn 3, I guess. Some strange discrepancies in the.
And I actually get a kill on the sniper there. He's a bit careless this time.
Oh wow! Just enough. Being behind that cover.
Yeah,
for you.
I can't even remember if I simulated that.
Yeah, it looks like he may have missed a timing he was going for there. No.
I think it's the small movement upwards I did that made the difference. In his sims, I'm guessing my MG was dead.
Okay, well, he says, I was sure to win that fight. Oh, he said he didn't simulate it because he thought he was sure to win. But that cover advantage can be like really pretty steep. I guess
it doesn't
steeper than
affect
you
snipers much, but a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, well, it must have here because the range is just it. That's sniper wins range without cover.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
Yeah.
And my sniper can't really do anything useful here. It does force Jeffys to duck behind cover, but not much more than that. I'm not actually getting any kills with it right now.
Right.
So let's watch turn 4. And yeah, now the boxes spawn.
Right.
And they're heavily clustered around the center, but I'm not really able to grab all that many of them due to position of all his units and all that stuff.
Yeah, and he's left with the obviously he's left with the more mobile units. Although, depending on how the advantages work out, for instance, with the room in which the room in which the box is, the bottom left box, and just your general coverage of the open areas where all the other rest of the boxes are. You may be. I mean, it'll take some crafty maneuvering by Jeffis to deny just some like very outright attempts to grab the boxes.
Yeah. So let's just watch this turn then. I didn't do anything really this turn, and for some reason I didn't think to look down here, but I remember that on the next turn, so I escaped getting killed by this unit.
Oh, nice.
So
that's some nice awareness there.
And I didn't actually see his unit, as it didn't open
right.
fire, so I didn't know it was down there quite yet.
Yeah, and it's outside your cone of vision, but
yeah, and see, now it's engaging my sniper, and I don't know about that either. But I think of it the next turn, but that's not enough time to actually get the kill here.
Okay.
So that's a bit funny, really.
Alright.
So yes, as you can see on turn 7, I aim down but get killed.
Alright, well let's play turn 7 then.
Yeah, I just played turn 7.
Oh.
And now Jeffis has a really nice position, really. He's got me pretty locked down in here. But
yeah.
I do some maneuvering and stuff. So let's just play turn 8. I mean, I'm not quite sure what I was thinking right here, actually.
Well, it looks like you're in a position where you know where one unit is, but it's just that you're surrounded, and it's difficult to judge how he's going to try and counter your unit in the middle, especially with the number 2 MG that just killed your sniper. He can either go around the bottom like he is, or go up along that right side to try and engage you.
Which rules, Jeffis?
What?
Which rules, Jeffis?
Oh, Jeffis, you thought I think what he's saying is he thought he could force a draw, by just not letting you move out. I think that's what he's trying to say, because at this point nobody has. Does anyone have a box?
Yeah, Jeffis has 1 box.
Oh, so he thought he would win.
Actually, he didn't really know what would happen if the game ended without any team dying or escaping.
What does happen?
The one who's picked up the most boxes win.
Okay.
So let's watch turn 9 here. I run out, take the box, and run back in, and run over to the other box, grabbing that as well.
Nice.
So now I've got 2 boxes while he's got 1. He can easily win here, really, by just maneuvering his bottom MG to take the last 2 boxes. But he doesn't actually do that. Instead, he tries to keep me in the room. So let's just play quickly through the last few turns, as really nothing interesting happens during that time.
Okay,
so,
I still think this is pretty damn interesting. Although it looks like you guys are just not moving.
Yeah, and I run my MG to try and block off the top box here, so as to get a kill if it tries to take that with his top MG. And that's really all I was able to do, really, here, seeing as he's basically got me held in here, and I can't really do much from here.
Okay, so Jeff has thought that you have to take the boxes out and it wouldn't count unless you were out. So in that case, you were trying to, from here on out, you were trying to force a draw then, right? Because, well, I mean, it just seems like if it wasn't the case that you had to take them out and the game could end with one side possessing more boxes and winning, then...
he was going to run out with his box on the last turn.
Oh, I see. That's so smart. So,
I mean, it's
Does it
pretty
fail?
good.
Well, let's just play through the rest of the game, okay?
Yeah, and he's got all exits camped, so I can't really move anywhere, so I just stay still, and so does he actually.
Yeah.
I mean, there's now something like 3 or 4 turns of us both just standing completely still.
Uh-huh. And then
yeah.
what happens? I'm all the way to turn 16 and you guys haven't moved.
And
So-
yeah, on turn 16 he runs out with his top MG, and and what he thought would happen then is, since he escaped with 1 box and I escaped with 0, that would gain him victory. But if the game ends by turn limit, then all boxes picked up count. So I had 2 boxes while he had 1.
Oh.
So I
So
thus
he
won
had to-
by 30 points.
So it sounds like Jeff's strategy was spot on. He simply made the mistake of not moving his number 1 MG out.
Yeah, if he had done that... No, if he had moved his number 1 MG out as well, then I would have won, as I would have gotten the last 2 boxes. So then I'd won by even more.
Oh. Yeah, you're right. Whoa. This is so cool. We haven't really seen this scenario. I mean, I love this game type. It's like my most played game type. I've never seen this scenario crop up. And it's really interesting to think about the dynamics, I guess, that go on as the turn limit approaches. As well, I guess it's still the same. You're still looking to try to get the most boxes, although it's still strange to me.
And to address Worm's question, no, boxes that have been dropped by being killed are forever lost. So if I had picked up a box or something with one of my other units and that had then died, then that box would have been completely out of the game and wouldn't have counted at the very end.
Yeah, and to answer Gaffy Rat's question, the thing is that when all units of a side leave, then the other side automatically picks up the remaining boxes, and it's scored as if they had picked them up and left.
Yeah, and the same would have happened on turn 16 as well. So without picking up more boxes or killing my unit, he would have lost either way.
Yeah, although it's kind of funny. I almost wish that there was some sort of different ruling that actually went into account, because I see like what Jeffis was trying to do, and I think it's actually like, I thought it was pretty cool. I don't know how exactly you would change the scoring system in order to make it such that, like, on the last turn, you obviously can't pick up boxes and get out. But he can.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. Anyway,
let's go to the last game versus
nice little
Jeffis.
lesson there. Yeah, about how disputed works, I guess.
And yeah, I lost this secure game. And yeah, Jeffis won the bid. He had, what did he have? Yeah, he had 2 snipers actually, and a shotgunner, while I had 2 MGs and a sniper.
Yeah, 1 second. Worm, that doesn't include the boxes.
Yeah, I answered that.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. Alright. Okay, so yeah, it looks like Jeffis is going to be using the corner humping strategy that was dubbed that, at least in the wiki.
No, that's a slightly different strategy. That's where you're moving back and forth outside the corner so as to slow the enemy team down.
Oh, I don't know. For some reason I thought I read the secure wiki and somebody said that there's this, like, corner humping was basically where you stuck a sniper in the corner.
No, that's just... We could call it corner sniping, for example. And it's stacked snipers, actually, so he's got 2 stacked snipers in the corner. Right, let's watch turn 1 then. I get my sniper killed. So that's not an awesome start, exactly.
Yeah. And of course, the defender always gets the advantage in those equal engagements in secure. Probably not the best idea for you to start your sniper there.
No,
Amen.
definitely not. But I wasn't expecting him to put both his snipers there, and I think that according to my simulations, I would have won if just sniper 1 was standing there.
But doesn't the defender always win?
No. It
I
varies.
thought the defender wins in equal engagements on secure.
No. It's not biased towards any particular site.
Really?
Just particular units.
Where did I hear that? I think I heard that. I don't know. Well, whatever. Yeah.
Anyway, let's just watch turn 2 then.
Thanks, Worm, for validating what I had said about corner humping.
Yeah, but that's a different topic, really. I can try to quote it, I guess.
No, it's fine. I'm just being goofy, man. It doesn't fucking matter.
Actually, that it was what you said, but
Yeah.
still, calling that corner humping just seems stupid. Anyway.
Yeah. You know, it's kind of... never mind. I was just about to tell a funny story about a friend of mine and his first experiences with masturbation. Anyway, sorry. So, nah, you want me to tell the story? I had a friend of mine who is like when he was really young, his mom bought like a hand back massager for his dad, but like he kind of figured out that he could, sort of use it, and it felt good, but he had to do it, so he would just take it, he said, and he would go to the corner and just stand in the corner so he would hide while he was doing it. Hiding in plain sight. Anyway, let's take a look at turn number 3 we're on.
Yeah, in turn number 2 I managed to lose my MGs. My MG, I mean. I'm not sure if he would have won if I'd removed continue on site earlier. Maybe not.
Yeah. So a resounding win for Jeffus in that game.
Yeah.
I have to say, I think there were some, there were some slightly random factors in your victory here. I mean, at the same time, obviously you played really, really well in this series. I mean,
I didn't play particularly well in these games.
Except for this secure match was pretty terrible, man. But the rest was pretty good, I thought. Yeah, you deserve the win.
Thank you, I guess.
Don't bring yourself down. Don't sell yourself short on that. So the next match we're going into is going to be Lucky Loose versus Acme.
Yep.
Acme, a player who in previous DGLs previous FSLs rather, I had been confused and thought he was some sort of noob or something. But he is not. I didn't say he was a noob. I just thought he was a new player. But if you look at his score and ranking, he is really, really high up there. So, anyway, it looks like the first match we have is a secure match, and we've got a triple stack on the opening. Hopefully he splits those units apart enough to give his opponent the opportunity of selectively focusing and ignoring
They're not perfectly stacked, so they are ignorable individually. Perfect stacking on the very first turn is basically impossible, really, as the only way to do perfect stacking is by stacking waypoints by using the unit hotkeys.
What? Oh, right. I see what you mean.
Running all the units to a single point.
I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Okay, so it looks like I can't even tell. Does he have? He has 2 MGs or he has 2 snipers? It looks like he has 2 snipers.
Yeah, he's got 2 snipers. So this should be interesting.
I think the bid. Yeah, it should be interesting. I think the bid is a little bit large.
Yeah, but there's no easily assailable areas at least.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, how else do you bid in a situation like this?
Yeah, it might have been an idea not to bid this square here and this square here, so that he could get an angle at the whole area even from further to the left.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if that would be particularly useful. Maybe.
Yeah.
Of course, he was also bidding so as to try to win the bid, so then you have to bid a bit large at least.
Yeah, exactly. Because in a situation like this, you know, I said initially that the bid is big, and then I was like, oh, but you know, what else do you do? And that the reason is because it's going to be so hard to attack any position with the 2 snipers, because Lucky Loose's bid is going to be favoring, and you can see it over there too, it's going to be favoring territory where there are more buildings, because he has the mobility advantage. So
yeah, let's watch turn 1.
Okay.
Yeah, and both players actually just stay in place. It looks like Lucky Loose was hoping to get a kill or 2 from behind cover. And yeah, he actually had a lot of area covered with his sniper as well, I think. I'm not quite sure. This corner here might be blocking it off.
Okay, I'm sorry guys. I just realized now that they both actually have 4 units.
They have 4?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I didn't realize that Lucky Loose's had stacked his snipers as well. So all my whatever ranting about or saying whatever about the fucking mobility advantage and stuff is obviously not applicable. And we just have a even match. So
yeah, let's watch turn 2 as well. See if there's any movements.
Jeff, I'm pretty sure that green has the same unit.
Yeah, there's 2 MGs and 2 snipers. One can barely see it when scrolling really close here. You see MG1 and MG2 and then Sniper 3 and Sniper 4.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's the same for red here. 2 snipers stacked over here and 2 MGs behind cover over there.
Yeah, I like Lucky Loose's starting positions here though, because now he's got the, I believe he's going to have the possibility of, well, I don't know actually now that I look at it again, but I mean obviously I think the idea is to get one or both of the MGs up against the left and top sides of the building in the bottom right, in order to, well, I don't know, pressure from there. So I'd say initially I'm pretty sure that his units are really well positioned to try and do that. So let's look at turn 2.
Yep. And Acme moves his stack actually a bit further to the right, which I think disrupted maybe what Lucky Loose was trying to do a little bit.
Yeah. Although it really looks to me now like Lucky Loose has achieved his preliminary goal of getting those units closer, and I would say exactly how they are now. As I believe Acme will be in a great danger from the number 2 MG at the window
I
bottom
don't
right.
think it can quite shoot from the window here. And it will be very hard for Lucky Loose to assail this position, as Acme can just ignore the snipers with his MGs and ignore the MGs with his snipers, and thus basically avoid any distractions.
At the moment, I mean, I think so long as Acme doesn't move his units, that number 2 MG can fire at the very least the furthest right units of Acme through the window.
Maybe.
Which is, yeah, I don't know. I think so.
Well,
I think that's
we'll see soon, I guess.
okay. All right.
Well, he just moves past the window actually, while
That's
Acme does some
Whoa,
antics
whoa,
around
whoa.
the corner here. That's a rather nice move. Of course, he can only really do that once because after that it becomes really obvious.
Yeah. Huh. This is going to be very strange. I don't know. Wow. It looks like actually what's going on here is very complex.
Yeah, that's what I'd call corner humping, not...
Yeah, that's corner humping. Yeah. This is really hard to figure out who has the advantage here. Although it looks like both snipers at this very moment are turned towards the top. This means that Lucky Loose has now won the battle for the bottom side of the building, as he can now, I'm guessing he can probably cover that area by just throwing all his units. Well, hit 3 of those units there. I don't know. Do you think so? I'm just trying to.
No, probably
sort of
not, as Acme can probably just stand right by the corner to get line of sight on his own area, but not that doorway. So it should still be winnable here by Acme. But
yeah, it's very difficult to think through, because I mean, Lucky Loose could be going to just. I mean, I really don't know. I mean, it's I can't simulate, but if he just, I just wonder what happens if he intelligently just kind of throws his both snipers looking down into that bottom area and covering that, throws his number 1 MG out there to take out units there, and rounds the corner at the top with his number 2 MG. I guess he's got to figure that there's going to be 1 MG that's going to be set to focus on that top area. Or the right area.
Well,
anyway.
We'll see in a moment, so let's just play turn 4. Acme continues doing some distractions actually, and retreats behind the corner. I think he now has line of sight on the bottom of his area, so there's not really any good angles of attack for Lucky Loose here.
You know what I just realized too? That the strange little sniper peculiarity that was tested by Kalias, and he showed in that video, they could be abusing that right here. Do you think? Right?
I have no idea.
Did you see it? Do you know how it works?
Yeah, I saw it. But
because the still sniper no longer has the advantage.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Well,
this is bizarre. Anyway, Oh wow.
That's actually a pretty smart move there by Lucky Loose. The question is if he can quite get into the area without getting killed.
Very smart. Well, I mean, this should be really interesting. Let's see what happens here on turn 6. I don't want to... Let's just play it.
He's actually not quite standing in the area here, so Acme wins. I mean, had he gone slightly further, then Lucky Loose might have gotten the win. So, huge mistake there, and it was the last turn, so he had nothing to lose by risking it either. I mean, he just had to move.
Acme very strangely sends his snipers up and away.
Yeah, I have no idea why he did that.
Yeah, this was totally Lucky Loose's game. He just kind of dropped the ball on actually getting his units into the area. Pretty strange result there. Not sure why Lucky Loose didn't just move a little bit more forward. Yeah, but Worm just says you can't tell if you're in until you prime, and that's right. But
yeah, but
I mean, it's better to err on the side of
yeah. Plus, it's visible here really that this isn't quite within the area. I mean, if you look at the bottom of this arrow here, that should be within the area, and then the unit will count as within the area. So, I mean, it should be obvious, really.
That's actually really smart. I bet that's actually probably the perfect indicator of how it works, because we've been, I mean, basically the consensus is right that that you're in so long as this the center of your waypoint is past the line of the bid area. So that I guess that triangle there would indicate the center of where your unit. Well, no, because you can't actually see that until you prime, as Worm said. Anyway,
yeah, but it's still obvious that both of those units are outside the area, especially the one furthest to the left. So that's really silly. Let's just go on to the next match then, which is Charge.
Yeah.
And Acme here has an MG, a sniper, and a rocket launcher versus an MG, a sniper, and a grenade launcher. Pretty interesting teams.
Yeah. And we have a problematic spawn for Lucky Loose, who the building at the top is going to severely limit his chances of transferring units up there. But at the same time, it looks like he's fought against that by just fighting towards the bottom. Given that that was the case, though, I'm a little surprised that Acme bid so conservatively, as he would, if he was the attacker, he would definitely have a fairly large advantage pressuring the top area.
Yeah. Let's see what happens then.
Oh. And the snipers get into an even engagement, which is determined on the side of Lucky Loose, and that's really important for him, as now he has a huge advantage, and it looks like the bottom two units were not actually scouted. Maybe they were. I can't quite tell.
No, I don't think they were, as that rocket launcher was looking.
Yeah.
No, let me just look at that timing slightly. I think they were seen, probably.
Yeah, I can't really tell. It's too hard to see. Anyway,
And yeah, I agree. It's strange that Acme didn't bid a bit more aggressively here. Had he been one step further to the right, he would have won the bid and would have had a much easier time here.
Yeah, exactly. I think that was just bid a little bit too quickly and didn't take into account some of the features of the map. Although there is the possibility of spawning at the very, very top, but
yeah, but that's easily coverable by a sniper.
Exactly.
You could just put a sniper that covers the whole area except the spawn point, for example.
Yeah, good call. Yeah, good call. Definitely. Alright, so I guess this is a short match, but
Yeah, let's watch turn 2.
Let's watch turn 2. Oh, and he, wow. Uh-oh. He decides to run up towards the top side here. It looks like one of his units will be caught out in the open. But though I don't
Actually,
know.
it can probably just run back again and thus survive. As it will be, as Acme's MG will then be interrupted by the corner.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's short enough that it could be a very short engagement time.
Well, let's see
Anyway.
then. Yeah, it does kill the MG, but Luckalus takes out the remaining T units with a nicely placed grenade there.
Very, very nicely placed grenade. So nice play there from Lucky Loose, who wins the charge game, and now they are tied at 1-1, right? Yep. Because Acme won the first one, right?
So let's watch the very last one, which is disputed. And 3 MGs and a rocket launcher versus 2 MGs and a shot and 2 shotgunners. I'd say I'd prefer Lucky Lou's team here. He's also got plenty of cover on his side, while Acme has very little cover on his side and is also somewhat stuck within a building, so it will take him a bit longer to get into a good position.
Yeah, I completely agree. The rocket launcher, unfortunately, is not going to be of so much use on this map as, well, it's going to take like, some time to get it into a position where it can fire shots, and even then, I mean, where exactly is it firing onto, and what exactly can it accomplish from there? So.
Yeah.
I would definitely favor the shotguns in this scenario.
Yeah. Let's watch what happens then. Acme does make a rather smart move there.
Yeah,
and
that was pretty
opens
smart.
up the building there, get him in line of sight through there, and the ability, of course, to move through there.
Yeah, I would have liked to see. I mean, he pushes all 3 of his units through there. Which is an interesting idea. However, I would have liked to see 1 unit go to the bottom side of the building he's just now entering, just to get.
Yeah, but the problem there is scouting might be a good idea, but he'd get probably beaten by an MG there due to the cover on Lucky Lou's side.
Yeah, I'm just talking about potential scouting that you get from just having an extra angle of sight, but I guess it probably wouldn't have seen much anyway.
Let's see what happens on the next turn on. He does make some moves downwards now and loses 1 unit to an MG, but it looks like he'll also get a kill on that MG with his rocket launcher there.
Yeah. Really nicely placed rocket. I'm hoping you're going to play the turn again, because I am as well.
Yeah, I'm playing it again.
Interesting that he tried that. Obviously, now looking at it, what he could have, if he had known exactly that the number 2 was there, he could have ran a distraction just to keep it staying there, just to ensure that that it would stay there, and not have exchanged units in this scenario. Anyway, but
let's see turn 3 maybe then.
Yeah, let's play turn 3. Oh, but that shotgun is
That's nice. He killed the shotgunner up there.
Yeah, very nice play from Acme, anticipating the shotgunner's move up there at the top and bringing his MG just out of range, so he has the advantage in that firefight. And so now it's still, though, it's a very interesting game, though, as as Acme has been forced to assume a fairly passive position with regard to potential spawn points. And Lucky Loose's shotgun is really pretty well placed here, so it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yep. So let's see turn 4 then.
Yeah, and I like what Acme does there, and by moving his number 2, and keeps the number 1 there to check on the shotgun, although shotgun is dangerously close to the number 1 MG, and it's out of line of sight currently, so if it charges forward and Acme does not foresee this and doesn't change his movement or his aim, it'll get taken out. But I would say now still Acme is going to have a rather large advantage.
Yeah.
Going into this portion of the match.
And Total Warmage has noticed my backwards rockets.
What? Backwards rockets?
Yeah. Just look
What's a
at this.
backwards rocket?
Look at the stream, and you can see it.
Oh, weird.
No, it's not weird actually. I, for whatever reason, decided to modify the image for the rockets and just flip it upside down.
Okay.
I mean,
That's
why
pretty
not?
cool. Why not? Yeah. Sure, man. I don't know. You know, I guess you did it because you could.
Yeah.
Nice. So let's take a look at turn 5.
Yep. Acme actually doesn't turn around, but it looks like he barely has line of sight over where the shotgun could have run up. I'm not quite sure though. And he nicely opens up an area on the middle here.
Yeah, and we got a tense moment here between the number 2 and the number 1. This should be interesting, especially with that little sliver of a wall to break line of sight. We could either see, I think, one of two things. Either one player just getting a little bit better of the tactics and taking out the other, or we could just see both players not wanting to deal with the complications and running away.
Yeah. And both players now have 2 boxes each, and I think it will be possible for Lucky Loose here to just grab that last box and run off. So he can actually just win that way.
You think he can just grab that box?
Yeah,
Wow.
due to that piece of wall there, he can just run out, run back to the left, and then run straight down, I think.
I think if he tries that, he's taken out by number 2.
Well, we'll see at least.
Okay.
Yeah. He does some zigzagging.
Oh! Oh! That was such a nice play. Oh my god, Lucky Loose, you are my hero. Did you see that?
Yeah.
That was so nice.
Yeah, that was a pretty nice move, I have to agree. And he should now be able to grab that last box and run off. He's already run out with his shotgunner. Actually, I find that kind of a silly move, as that basically means he loses if he loses his MG now.
Oh, yeah. No, you're right. I would have liked to just find a nice safe spot for him and just to keep him in play, but he chooses to hightail it out there immediately, trusting that he can win, I guess, with just the MG left. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Let's play turn number 7.
Yeah, as expected, he runs down, grabs the box, and runs towards the exit. And on turn 8, he runs out and wins.
Yeah, really nice play there by Lucky Loose. That tactic there on turn 6 was just really pleasing to see. It's incredible too. Acme even turns around because he anticipates something like this happening, but just doesn't manage to get the better of the engagement.
Yeah. So let's go
Pretty
on
cool.
to the final. First up is Charge. If I remember correctly, there were some interesting unit composition here. Yeah, I've got a grenade launcher, a shotgunner, and an MG, while Lucky Loose has a rocket launcher, an MG, and a grenade launcher. So pretty balanced teams. I've got a bit more direct fire than him, but he's got a lot of suppression ability here with his unit composition.
Yeah, and so it looks like you have just barely bid enough to win the bid. Surprised Lucky Loose didn't bid one line further. But I don't really. I guess he probably has some insight into the map that I don't really have. But
Yeah, I can't say this much, or the rest against him really were particularly enjoyable, as, well, this was the first match we played, and when on a later turn in this match I beat one of his moves with a pretty risky move. He started complaining about me doing supposedly bad moves, and he basically continued like that for the whole round. So this is probably the least enjoyable DGL round I've been in.
Really?
Yeah.
That's really unfortunate that we get that kind of criticism going on during a game. That's kind of unfortunate. I haven't played Lucky Loose, haven't run into him yet, but really, was he cool, or was he reasonable about it at least?
No, not really. For the last match, I basically just did my turn and then went to the menu to avoid him.
God, that's so unfortunate. I mean, and especially since this is a game where, and I really hate that with games with such any game with such high level theory, especially like there's this huge discussion in like StarCraft, and like, it's like everybody, all the really good players like hate cheese. It's like unsophisticated play to like, rush your opponent early or make some sort of gambly play where you're analyzing a risk-reward scenario as opposed to looking for the objectively best move. And I think that's really unfortunate. That's a very negative attitude to bring to any game, is to where you're saying that, if a person makes a gamble and they're able to win by it, like, that's not good play, and like, shame on you for making it. I think that's kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
Myself.
I mean, if it looks stupid but it works, it's not stupid. I commented that back at him actually during the match, as I think he called my move stupid, but I mean, the move won me the match.
Alright,
so
well,
let's look at the first turn here. Nothing particularly interesting really happens this first turn. I concentrate heavily towards the top, since due to his grenade and all that stuff, I expect him to be able to cover the bottom quite heavily.
Yeah. So you're going for the sort of all-in at the top area, which is, I think, it's a nice play for this map. It's definitely unexpected. I personally would, well, I don't know, just because of the strange spawn positions and stuff, I wouldn't have. This is not a move that I would have expected from my opponent if I was on Lucky Loose's side.
Yeah,
but,
and I basically decided to go towards the top, as with his rocket launcher, he could basically kill me anywhere in this bottom room here. Yeah. So that wasn't really a good way to go.
Right. So let's play turn 2.
Yeah. And I do a little bit of distraction and scouting here with my shotgunner. And I move my MG back so as to avoid rockets, grenades, whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, he blows up a wall, which makes maneuvering a bit easier for me. And
Yeah.
I simulated that, if I remember correctly, so that I would be just far enough away so that no rocket could touch me.
Yeah, that's pretty obvious from what I see on my screen. Yeah, it looks like what, man, I don't know. I mean, it's still a very tense situation. I would say that Lucky Loose's number 1 MG is quite a bit out of position, and he actually moves it backwards on the last turn, on turn 2.
I think he was trying to avoid potential grenades. As you can see by my grenade, that wasn't quite maximum range, I think. So if I had thrown that even further and he'd stay in position, he'd probably get taken out by that grenade.
No. Actually, yeah, you're completely right. Although, like I said, now it is fairly out of position. It's difficult to tell what he should have done. I actually, now that I look at it, I'm not so sure that was the wrong move. The only other move that I could think of would be to sort of very aggressively just like run into that building in the bottom center, and try to cover from there. But even then, that unit might be out of position as well. So
yeah.
I don't know. Just like really well executed strategy from you, actually.
Yeah, and now with turn 3, I saw the opportunity to rush towards the top since he had no direct fire there, and it would be hard for him to hit any of my units with the rocket launcher, and the grenade launcher didn't quite have the angle to actually hit towards the top. So let's watch turn 3 here. I rush forward with my shotgunner and grenade launcher, and my MG avoids a grenade there.
Yeah, and it looks like it's getting into a winning firefight with number 1.
Yeah. And this is the point where he started complaining.
Where?
This turn, after the end of this turn. That's when he started accusing me of making bad moves.
What was your bad move?
Rushing with those units, I guess. I guess bad move equals him not expecting it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a risky move.
That's not even a bad move.
It was definitely a risky move, that it was. I mean, if he had shot upwards with that grenade launcher through that hole this rocket launcher made, for example, that would have killed most of my units. But that didn't happen, so...
Yeah.
And now I basically won the match as I could get out of line of sight of that MG in time, and if I remember correctly, I had already gotten the kill shot pretty much, so he couldn't escape with that in time. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, let's just watch the last turn. Yeah, I got the kill on that, and also the kill on the grenade with my MG, and thus kill the rest of his team.
Yeah. And just to return the favor to him, I really don't think that grenade shot on turn 3 was well placed at all.
He was expecting me to go towards the bottom, not the top.
Oh, but he hadn't, because he hadn't scouted your units yet, or something.
I think he had scouted me, but he wasn't expecting a rush towards the top, really. So.
Yeah. Just odd. I would expect a rush towards the top much more than I would expect. I don't know. And he fires a rocket in quite a strange place as well. Basically forcing a losing engagement.
Yeah, but he wasn't expecting me to be in that window, so.
Lucky Loose, I commend you for your tactic in the last game, but I don't commend your tactics here, and I especially don't commend your bad manners. Sorry, man.
Right,
respect your opponents. That's one of the nicest things about this game. The community is really small, and nice to each other. All right, so let's look at the next game.
Yeah, and this is Disputed. this didn't go too well for me if I remember correctly. Yeah, I lost this match, but yeah, he was still not respectful.
Really? He was just like flaming you like the entire match?
Yeah, he made plenty of sarcastic remarks and similar.
God, what an asshole. Anyway,
I mean, I almost wish I had logs, but I don't.
Whatever, it's fine. I mean, there's no reason to... I mean, it makes sense that you'd mention it, but, you know, whatever. Just play. Anyway,
yeah, so I just ended up ignoring him towards the end of this match and not engaging him in conversation at all in the last match.
Yeah. Anyway, so it looks like he definitely has the more favorable unit composition in this match.
And he can cover the whole right side here with his sniper. So there's not... I mean, I basically have to go down here on this map.
Yeah, yeah, I would say that this is quite a disadvantageous position for you to start off in. Not only because of the fact that he has the shotgun, but like you said, he basically just spawns automatically covering like the largest open space on the map. So let's take a look at turn 1.
Yep. Yeah, I put my sniper up top there to do a bit of scouting. I don't really expect to be able to get any kills with it, but at least I get to do a bit of scouting, really. And there's not really any other position where it's at all useful.
Right. Yeah, no, that's definitely a nice move. Though you always worry when you make a move like that, that the sniper just, that the unit just gets pinned down behind cover. Although I suppose you still have some options to move that sniper down, obviously without getting caught out. But yeah, it's a nice move. That's something I would expect. And you can see already he's running the his shotgun down towards the bottom there, because he knows that you have to come down that way.
Yeah. So let's see turn 2 here. Here I actually managed to kill the shotgunner but lose my MG.
Wow, that was a very strange play from him. I don't really understand.
He was trying to do a distraction but didn't execute it well.
Yeah. Because obviously that's a really poor exchange for him. I mean, he still has a fairly large positional advantage, but obviously that shotgun is a far greater asset than your MG. So let's take a look at turn 3.
Yeah. And here I made a mistake. I didn't actually simulate on top here, so I didn't know if my snipe was far enough away to get the kill here.
Yeah.
But that sniper was pretty much dead weight anyway.
Exactly.
And yeah, due to the map here, I can't really go out at all, basically. So on turn 4 here, I basically just try to cover as much as possible to make it harder for him to move around. And with these spawns, there's very few boxes here I can actually get that. If I remember correctly, according to my simulations, I couldn't get any of the boxes in the center here. And this over to the right here is also basically impossible for me to get. So the only box I really had any chance of was the one to the left here. Yeah. So this was pretty much lost now, really.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking when I look at this. I think that his units are pretty much in the best possible positions right now, and yours are just hopelessly kind of pinned down in those buildings. So let's look at turn 5, I guess?
Yeah, so for the next turns I just move around a lot and try to cover as much as possible. And I'm a bit careless with my bottom MG there, getting it killed by sniper. The plan was to run over to the doorway and go a bit back and forth, hopefully managing to get a kill or something up there.
Now, do you find that when you play from a deficit, do you find that you like personally with me, I find that I tend to get frustrated, and I actually play worse from a deficit.
Well, it varies. Sometimes I then do my very best, but here I really didn't care much due to my great conversations with Lucky Luce.
Yeah, because I've just noticed that some players seem to just like thrive on those deficit positions and play like just suddenly get better when they're at a deficit.
I mean, it's plenty of fun playing at a slight disadvantage, but this huge disadvantage is seldom fun.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so let's play turn 6.
Yeah, we can just play through the next turn pretty quickly. I mean, I'm just basically maneuvering around, trying to hopefully get some kills somewhere.
Right.
So there's a whole bunch of maneuvering with my MG there.
Mm-hmm. And we'll play turn 7?
Yeah, I'm all the way to turn 9 now, actually. There's not much interesting happening.
Yeah.
And in the end, I was basically reduced to trying to cover a few areas here.
Yeah.
And in the end, yeah, he gets the kill on me when I stand up on turn 13 there. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, so looks like you guys are tied at 1-1, and we are going into the deciding match.
Yeah, which was Secure, my favorite game mode. And yeah, here I've got a grenade launcher, a shotgunner, and 2 MGs, while he has 3 MGs and a shotgunner.
Okay. And you actually... Wow, this is interesting. And you actually bid to win with the grenade.
I did make a huge bid, but
yeah, you didn't make the, the tiny bid. It just in order to ensure yourself that you're attacking.
I almost never do that anyway.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah, me neither. I don't think that that's completely sound strategy, but it's actually really kind of nice here that you did that and that you won, because I actually kind of like his bid. Taking like this very long position where I mean, I can't really tell what the spawn areas are, so it's kind of difficult.
The spawn areas is the room the house he spawned in with his MGs, and the whole building he spawned his shotgunner in.
Well, that's odd, since the he gives you that window.
Yeah.
If he wins.
Yeah, but of course he can cover that whole area up there, so I can't really get at the bid line.
Yeah, that's true. So he just avoids any line of sight with the... Yeah, but if he avoids anyway, whatever. Yeah. He didn't win the bid, so I'll stop analyzing it.
Yeah, and I was trying somewhat aggressive defense here, as you can see with my shotgunner here and the grenade launcher. I was trying to cover as much as possible of this bottom building instead of just staying within my area. I was considering running the shotgunner into the building, but I deemed it a bit too risky.
Yeah, I would say that this here looks really pretty solid. What? Total wormage. What? Penis-shaped building? I don't see any. Oh, now I see it. Man, you have a sick mind, Total Wormage. That requires a bit of squinting to see. Anyway, I guess let's just play into turn 2. I like what Lucky Luce is doing here, though.
Yeah, I hadn't really considered that he'd try something like that up here, so I quickly moved this top MG over to counter anything up there, really.
Yeah, and bidding. I think bidding and secure. I think bidding and secure. First of all, it's a lot tougher than charge, and it might be one of the most. Well, it's one of the things that requires like probably the most like skill and understanding of the game. to bid well. I mean, it really depends on the map. You get a good map, and the bidding can be really interesting. Sometimes it's not so interesting, but it is very difficult, and it requires a lot of good map reading.
Yeah, and here in turn 2, for some reason he runs to the right here, even though I can easily cover that with my grenade launcher.
Oh, no.
So I had my units actually focused on the left-hand side here. So that's where I was actually expecting him to go, with my grenade, of course, covering the right.
You know what you do there? Was this the last match that you guys played? Like, did you guys leave this one? I would have just been like, bad move, bad move.
I basically wasn't talking to him at all at that point. So
I know, because you're doing the whole better man thing, you know, like. I'm not gonna stoop to his level and trash talk back, but like.
Well, I did tell him to fuck off at one point, but that was basically the last thing I said to him.
Right, but personally, like, I'm one of those people. It's like, if you're gonna make fun of my moves, it's like, well, then I'm gonna make fun of yours.
Yeah, that's actually pretty reasonable, but
I mean,
I was hoping if I just ignored him that he'd shut up.
Yeah. It's
It
inevitably the better approach, but I sometimes just can't help dealing the trash back, you know.
He trash talks plenty, Geffirat.
I never initiate that stuff though.
Yeah, that's good.
I think that's bullshit.
That's the most important part, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, in this match he was mostly complaining about me having a grenade while he didn't.
Yeah.
He was, for some reason, he considered this match entirely unwinnable for him.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, it's kind of funny. I don't know. I really have no idea. Jeffer says, I want to see Sinrath versus Lucky Loose. Why, does Sinrath trash talk? Sinrath is a bit of a talker, but he's like a reasonable guy. He doesn't like...
Yeah, he's not a dick about it.
Yeah, he's not a dick about it.
Mostly.
Mostly. But he definitely likes to talk, and you know, but yeah, he's never a dick about it. But this is like this is just terrible. This is this last turn, this turn 2 was just a massive blunder. That's it should not be made.
Yeah.
You know.
So it was pretty easy for me to defend after this, really.
Yeah. Now, you know. Well, you know, it'd be really kind of nice if you could selectively ignore people from talking. I think that's like a feature that should be implemented in almost every single game. You know?
Yeah, but you can just mentally ignore them instead, mostly.
Yeah, but then you still see you knew that he was like bitching about about balance here, and that's one of the most annoying things to encounter. Is like there's trash talk, and then there's bitching and whining about balance, which is the worst thing to have. Like the worst thing you could do in like.
Well, I can understand whining about violence, but imbalance, but you have to keep it within a certain limit. I mean, I do my fair share of whining about balance. I know that.
Yeah, but there's a way in which you can do it.
Yeah, and it's one thing to whine about the game balance. It's a different thing to whine about your opponent's moves.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it looks like you clean up here pretty easily.
Yeah. This last turn, I get a nice kill with my shotgun, and then a kill with my MG here. So that was pretty easy. So
very nice play from you, Meneth. Congratulations on winning this DGL, which I believe is your first win.
Yeah, it's my first win. So I'm pretty happy with that. It's the first time I ever got to the semi-finals as well.
So yeah, that's nice, very nice play. I mean, obviously, you've deserved one.
Yeah,
Now,
maybe I should force Artron to give me a nation red or something,
now,
seeing as I won.
yeah, concerning these tournaments, I'm just curious about what you know with regard to the issue of map imbalance and how if that
Well,
if that's being addressed.
well, Omar has said he's going to look at map balance. He said that 2 blog posts ago or something like that.
You know,
So,
have you suggested to him that one of the easiest and quickest ways to make us happy is just to implement like some sort of choice system before
yeah, but that's pretty complex, really, and that works badly for matchmaking and so on, generally at
yeah.
least. So,
Yeah, but I'm
but
just saying, like,
it's just a few general tweaks that are needed to improve balance a lot. And
right.
once we eventually switch to Swiss mode for these tournaments, it should balance out nicely as well, as then a few imbalanced games can't lose you the whole tournament.
Uh-huh. Now, have you talked to Amrath about what they're thinking with regard to? Because I know I just saw that post that he made about that, like specifically the unit composition imbalance and
Yeah, I've mentioned it to him several times, and so has
Yeah.
Shrike and a few other people and so on, so he knows about it.
But
What
you
they-
know, I know he knows.
I
about
know.
it, but
I
you
don't
think-
know exactly what he's going to do about it. I just know he's going to do something.
Now, what are your feelings about that? I'm just curious. What are your feelings about like, are you someone who's like really pretty like hardcore about it, and you like Icebrain like wants to see basically symmetrical unit types on every
I
map?
don't want entirely symmetrical teams because that
Yeah.
gets boring after a while. It gets
Right.
too samey, kinda. But
Yeah.
closer to balanced teams, really.
Right.
There's certain imbalances that can make a huge difference. For example, one team having a shotgunner while the other doesn't, or one team having indirect fire units while the other doesn't.
Yeah, I agree. Although sometimes that shotgun isn't actually an advantage, and
Of
I
course,
think
but it
that's the
usually
tricky
is.
part. It usually is, but sometimes it's like, but sometimes we find maps where, for instance, having a grenade is better than a shotgun,
Yeah.
or something like that. So that's one of the tricky things and things to do. I think one of the most obvious things, though, is snipers. I don't think I've ever there are
Two
games
snipers
that
is almost always useless.
Yeah, I think so too. I think one sniper per map is probably good.
Yeah, except maybe
unless
on
both,
5 versus 5.
Yeah,
On 5 versus 5 it might be capped to 2, but on 4 versus 4
yeah.
and smaller it should be capped to 1, and on 2v2 secures there shouldn't be any snipers really.
Yeah.
And snipers is also probably something that should be symmetrical. Both teams should have a sniper on neither team. Probably.
Yeah, I don't know so much about that, but because Jeff has won a secure match with 2 snipers.
I mean, it's
Congratulations,
doable,
Jeff.
of course, but it's usually a huge disadvantage.
Yeah, no, it's a huge disadvantage.
It depends on the map, of course, but generally speaking.
Yeah. Now, when I was looking through the forums a while ago, and were they at one point thinking about changing the unit around because people felt it was kind of underpowered?
I have no idea, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I guess that's it for today, unless
that's pretty
you
much
have a
it.
game of the week.
No, I haven't really had all that many submissions. I did have a few from the Shrike, but I'll take a look at those next week, I think.
Okay.
So
Cool.
yeah,